Hi everyone, it's Zara here doing your Saturday screen suggestions this week. I haven't put makeup on for you this week because I just thought I'll do it in the reality of being at home. I am in my bedroom again. Best light, as I said before. So this week I'm going to do book to film adaptations. So Liv last week did book to TV adaptions. So this week I'm just going to chat through a few films that are I'd recommend you watch that have been made from books into films. So the first one is a childhood favourite of mine. I actually watched it last week. It is Babe, which is the story of the sheep pig. I read the book as a child, Dick King-Smith, and it is about a little pig that is saved from the dinner time menu because he has a talent for herding sheep. It's just such a heartwarming film. I watched it last week. I loved it. It was the best day I've had for a while, and I just recommend that you watch it. It brings back so many more warm memories for me of my childhood. So that's Babe, 1995 that came out. Such a long time ago, it doesn't seem that old. So second film, going to the other end of the spectrum this time. Quite a brutal film, I'll warn you, but it's a brilliant film. No Country for Old Men. I forget what year that came out now. I think it's about 10 years old, but it was a film by the Coen brothers. The story stars Tommy Lee Jones, Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin stars as a hunter who stumbles across accidentally a drug deal gone wrong, and $2 million in cash. And rather than report the cash to the police, he decides to keep it, which then he then comes on the radar of sadistic killer Javier Bardem, and it's basically a whole cat and mouse film hunt through the whole film, and Tommy Lee Jones is the police officer that's also following the trail. So it's just a brilliant film. I'd recommend you watch that one. I know it's on one of the video streaming services because me and my partner talked about watching it the other week again. So yeah, that's No Country for Old Men. The third film that I'd recommend you watch possibly could leave you in floods of tears, but it's one of those ones that I will watch again and again as well, and the book is amazing. The book left me in tears as well. So it's The Green Mile, which is over 20 years old now. It makes me feel really old. So The Green Mile set in the 1930s in America, on death row, and the lives of the prison guards change forever when a John Coffey, who is a convicted murderer, is brought to them on death row, and he actually possesses magical powers, and he's just got such a kind heart, and the story will unravel without giving too much away of the plot. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend you do. That's The Green Mile, stars Tom Hanks, and it will probably make you cry, but it's a really good film. Trust me, they're not, it doesn't make you cry and feel bad, but it's just brilliant. And the mouse as well, the mouse is so cute. My other recommendation is Little Women. I haven't actually watched the latest adaptation, but it's got really good reviews, so I thought I'd recommend it. I've read the book, so I haven't actually seen the film. Little Women is all about the lives of the March family, and the four sisters, and they don't want to live life on anybody else's terms but their own. So it's all about how their lives develop and their adventures that they have, and it's just a brilliant story. So I love the book, so I'd highly recommend the film, and the film has really good reviews, so check that one out. Little Women came out last year. Two more recommendations to go. So my penultimate book to film adaptation recommendation this week is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I loved this book series. I read them when they came out, and I would recommend that you watch the original Swedish adaptation of this film, which, I'm sorry, I've chosen films this week that have really difficult pronunciation of names. So it stars Noomi Rapace and Michael Nyqvist. And it is about a young hacker called Elizabeth Salander, who's had quite an awful upbringing and start to life. But the story is about her assisting this journalist to uncover and find out the truth about a murder of a woman who's been dead for 40 years. And it's really good set of books, really good film. But I would urge you to watch the original Swedish version and not the Hollywood remake, because I didn't go much for the Hollywood remake. So, come down to my last recommendation now, and this one I just love because I love romantic films. Really enjoyed the book, and I just love this story. I watched it over and over and over again. Another one that has an actress with a difficult pronunciation. So this film is Jane Eyre, and it stars Mia Wasikowska. Had to write it down because it's not said how it's spelled. And Michael Fassbender. And Mia stars as Jane Eyre, who is had a bleak start to life. She wants to be a governess. She's quite mousy and quiet, and she gets taken to Thornfield Hall to be the governess for Michael Fassbender, who is quite a cold and selfish character, I think you'd say. And over time they begin a friendship, and eventually Jane Eyre falls in love with him, but he actually harbours a dark secret, and it's just a really lovely film. If you like romantic films like me, you'll enjoy Jane Eyre, so I'd recommend that one. So those are my recommendations for this week. I hope you give those a go. If you recommend any other films that have been adapted from books, comment them below, because we'd love to hear about those. Thanks again. Bye.